This is Mr. Diffie, and we're going to talk about 154 SketchPlaneCube. We'll look at the criteria for this assignment and look at how to do some of the basic modeling that's being asked of you here. I hope this video is helpful to you. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible so you can refer to it if you need to. Remember that we are in 154 SketchPlaneCube, and we do have 155 pegboard toy coming up. In that pegboard toy, we are going to look at an assembly file and how to create drawings and a presentation from those drawings. So this is going to be a really exciting section here and will be our final section for DM. As of right now, we're going to look at this SketchPlaneCube. In PLTW, you should have the file under Activity. We're going to go to that file right now just to take a look at it. Really what you need to pay attention to are the dimensions that they're giving you. And so we want to reproduce this cube exactly as you've seen it here. And we want to be careful with that. We want to use the dimensioning tools to make sure that we have these circles and these rectangles that are extruded from this box. We want to make sure they're centered properly. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in and look at that. I'm going to start from scratch here. And so I'm going to open Inventor and go to New File. And we're looking at a standard IPT file in this case. So the first thing I'm going to do, which most of you remember, is create a 2D sketch. I can pick any one of these three planes here. I'm just going to select this plane, and I'm going to start with a rectangle. It doesn't matter where I start in space. I don't have to start from the origin here, even though you see me do that sometimes. I'm just going to start out here in space and left click, and now I'm moving my mouse. I'm not dragging the left click open. I'm just left clicking to start the rectangle and just moving my mouse. Notice the highlighted portion in that bottom dimension at 0.359. I'm going to change that manually. It does say, if we look at the schematic, I'm going to go back here real quick. If you use some intuition here, and you're going to have to do this on assignments that are coming up, you can see that the center of this circle is at 1 inch on this cube. Now if you look at it, you can tell that it's centered on the cube. So if the center of the circle is at 1 inch, then we could assume that this is 1 unit. It doesn't say inch there. We can assume this is 2 units long. Okay, so we'll go back to here. Given that, I'm just going to enter the number 2, and you'll see it appear down there. And now I'm going to hit the Tab button to tab to the next text field. You can see now that it's highlighted. I'm going to make that 2 as well and hit Enter. I'm going to back out. I'm going to roll out with my mouse a little bit, and I'm going to pan using my center mouse key. I'm going to depress it so I can move and pan this into the view, and I'm going to finish sketch. I have a 2 by 2 rectangle, which is what I want to start with. And again, I'm going to pan this into view if I can. Okay. I want to extrude this, and so I take this sketch, and when I'm on the line, you can see it highlights, and when I have it highlighted, I'm going to right-click to pull up this menu and extrude. I want this extrusion to also be 2 inches, so I'm going to enter 2 as the value and hit the check mark for OK, and now I have a perfect cube that's 2 units long on each side, or for each edge, that is. Okay. I'm going to move this into view here. I'm having a little trouble with my mouse. I'm actually lacking a mouse pad right now. I'm doing this on my couch. See if I can make this work. Okay, the first thing I want to do is I want to put sketches on these faces, and really that's what these extrusions that you see in the assignment, these extrusions like this cylinder here that we're about to cut, or this rectangle, or it's actually a square, this square that we're going to extrude. It tells us generally where it should be on this box here. So the square extrusion is actually a 1/2 inch offset from each side, and from the top and bottom. We can see that. So let's go ahead and do that move first. And so every time you put one of these extrusions on a surface, you're basically doing a sketch. So we'll right-click and create sketch. On this sketch, I'm going to put a rectangle that is 1 by 1. That is what the dimensions say. If you look right here, you can see that it's 1 unit by 1 unit. Okay, so we'll go back over here. We're going to make a 1 by 1. I'm going to make this the same way I made the other square. I'm just going to start my rectangle and then enter it manually. 1, tab, 1, enter. And then I'm going to finish, well actually excuse me, before I finish the sketch, I want to center this properly. Here's where the dimensioning tool comes in really handy. It's a very powerful tool. I'm going to select dimensioning. And I'm going to select the 2 lines I want to dimension. I want this distance right here to be 1/2 of an inch, or 0.5 inches. So I'm going to select this one. You can see it highlighted in red. Then I'm going to select this line, and I'm just pulling this out. I'm not left-clicking and dragging. I left-click to select those 2 lines. Now I'm just sort of pulling the mouse out, and there's my dimension. I'm going to click on it one time so that I can get more exact and put in an exact value. So in this case, it's going to be 0.5 or 1/2 an inch. And there we go. So it's centered now vertically. And now I'm going to do the same thing with this horizontal alignment here. So I have dimensioning selected, as you can see still. I'm going to select this line and this one because I want this one also to be 1/2 of an inch. I'm going to bring it out here. Let's see that a little bit better. Okay, and go 0.5 inches. And there we have a square that's perfectly centered on the cube. I will finish sketch. Always remember to finish sketch when you're done sketching. So it puts you back into modeling mode. I'm going to right-click, extrude that square. Now when I do that, I do have to pick the surface I want to extrude. If I pick this one, it's not going to give me that inner square. It's going to pull all of this out. So I'm going to select that. And I want this to be 1/2 of an inch. I could drag it back and make it 1/2 an inch, but once again, it's easier just to put it in manually, 0.5 inches. Okay. And there we have it started. I'm going to put a little color on this just so it kind of stands out. You can start to see the features a little bit better and see the contours a little bit better. So I don't know if this color is going to work actually, so I'll just try it. We'll go honed. Not the greatest for contrast, but you get the general idea. Or do you? Let's see. Yeah, not a lot of contrast there. But anyway, so you can see that feature a little bit better if I put it a little closer to you. Okay, so the next thing here is we're going to do a cylinder here. So we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and do a new sketch. New sketch. Let me show you how I did that. I just went to the surface and right-clicked New Sketch. And on here I need a cylinder. So I'm going to start with a circle. Here's my auto constraint tools. There's center, I can tell because it has 2 lines leading to the center there. So I'm going to left-click and open this up, enter a value of 1. The schematics do say that this has a 1-inch diameter. It says it right there on this leader line. So that leader line coming out of the circle, remember that we dimension circles by their diameter. Okay. There we have a circle. It's done. I'm going to go ahead and finish sketch and do the same thing I did with this one. I'm going to right-click on the item I want to extrude and hit extrude and go and select the surface I want to extrude. It auto extrudes to the distance that I had previously done. That's nice. So 0.5 inches. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And I'm almost done here. Last thing I need to do is put a hole in here. Now, we've practiced this subtractive method before. I'm going to go ahead and right-click on it and go New Sketch. And I need another circle. Use my auto constraint tools to tell me where I'm at. I make it 1 inch. Again, finish sketch. Right-click, extrude. This time I want to subtract this, so I'm going to take this from the top arrow here, if I can grab it, and push it through. And hit enter, and now I have a hole. And now when I spin this thing, it should look like that. There you have it, SketchPlaneCube. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll expect yours finished with colorations. You should style this your own. Remember, you can go to Appearance and Tools and start pulling up some of these styles. I do like to use gunmetal quite a bit, so let me just see what that looks like here. You can use whatever you want, but make it your own. Okay, I'm having trouble finding the one I want because I don't have a mouse pad underneath me, so let me see if I can just click there. And yeah, there we go. Okay. So hit a couple surfaces, make sure that it has your own personal style on it, and then take a screenshot of it and make sure you upload it with 154 to the LMS. Good luck.